Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns on liquid air, on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
You mess around with some things. Thank you, Carlos. I always do that. I always leave my mic on mute. But I mess around with some things. But we in here, man. We in here. But I do have to get some light in the building. Get my nano leafs up and running. Got my coffee with me. We good to go. So I wonder, I didn't see who was starting. Did they start Dantas today? Because she's from Brazil. So maybe they was gonna let her start, or maybe they won't. Nope. Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark, Natasha Howard, Brianna. No, not Brianna. Natasha Howard, Dewana Bonner, and who's my fifth? Who am I missing? Sophie? Is Sophie starting? No, Sophie is not starting. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we got everybody. You like I'm spitting facts right now, man. Yeah, I'll be spitting facts, but also forgetting to click the interface. I'm working on like you all know my normal stuff, but I'm working on a different different background, because you can see I got the Eagle stuff and it looks like a football stadium, but I'm working on the same type concept, but a little bit different setup with basketball arena. So that's what I'm working on now, man. It's just making the transition. So it's all on me. Just takes time to do it, especially if you want to do it right. You know how we do it. So there we go. Let there be light. So damn, 6-0 already. 2 threes. Man, I am so behind. Once again, the TV is so far behind the internet. So let's go play by play, or let's go Gamecast. I like Gamecast better. So Leah Boston misses. Leah Boston makes the 2 points. So she got her own rebound and put it back up. So Hayden Clark hit the 3. She hit the first 3. So that's what everybody wanted to see. So, and the crowd is going nuts. Then Kelsey Mitchell got in there. Is it me, or based on what we saw with Chicago, Brazil is just not very good? Clark pushing the pace already. Great pass. See? That'd be pissing me off when Caitlin Clark makes a great pass and then they miss the finish. Be hating that, man. It's 8-0, so it's 8-2, so they finally scored. But let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger, because that's what I like. But yeah, I'm gonna be fiddling around with this a little bit. But yeah, Boston messing up the assist. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's exactly what I'm talking about. That is annoying to me. But it is what it is. So let me move this over a little bit. And dashboard, content. I'm trying to find if anybody in the chat knows, if anybody in the chat knows, right? I am trying to find a good website because what I like to do is what I can do, especially with OBS. I can take what I did last year was I can take different parts of different websites and put it on one page. So what I did last year was like right above me at the very top of the screen, I would have this the scoreboard, this scoreboard you see on ESPN, and I would just take that to keep the updated scores, and I would go to Yahoo and I would get the real time stats as the game went on and different things like that, and I would find different sites that projected the information the best in my opinion. So if you guys got any ideas of like different websites, is it Fox, is it Yahoo, is it or another website that I'm not thinking about that give dynamic updates of the game, because I like the simplicity of the ESPN scoreboard, but sometimes ESPN is slow. So just looking for stuff like that. And of course, me, I'm into the graphics, so I want a good presentation. But it's all good. It's all good. It says we got 40 people in the chat, man. So let's keep it rocking, man. If you are here, do me a favor and smash that like button, and we're gonna keep the conversation going. So, but it is all good, man. And right now, Kaden Clark with her first turnover of the year. Dewana Bonner with the rebound. Let me see if I can get this on my computer because I'm looking I'm looking at the computer, but the TV is just super slow. Well, 8-0 run, and now it's 8-7. How does that work for you? Yo, Carlos, did you see Haley Van Lith yesterday when they did like a promo and they asked her who was her favorite NBA player, and she said my man's. I don't know if he was too happy about that, but I just thought it was funny. Diamondbacks Philly just hit. Oh, nice. All right, they're still doing it. I got Caitlin Clark running up the court. Let me see. Oh, good pass. Couldn't finish. Good pass by Natasha Howard, man. Listen, I am impressed already with Natasha Howard. I like what she is bringing to the table. I just like her energy, and she is better than expected. Let me say it like that. She's going to be better than expected. So let me see. Let me see if I can get because this is slow. Get the Xfinity stream. This is super slow. All right, Kelsey made both her free throws. 10-9, still one possession game. Damaris Dantas, I want to see her play. I thought she played well last year, but for whatever reason, to me, it seemed like she was out of shape. And I know I believe she was coming off an injury, and I thought maybe she put on a little weight and she was just trying to play catch up, but I don't know. But when she gets going, she can move. Good play by the girl from Brazil, number 21. Good play. This is ESPN. There we go. In and out by Caitlin Clark, trying to get the people what you want. Good steal. Don't shoot another one. Don't shoot another one. Good pass. Bonner for the three and gets it. Was that a two or a three? Get over there. Get over there. Ah, she got caught and she couldn't even finish. Howard dishes up to Juana Bonner. Pass from Kelsey Mitchell. Good assist by Kelsey Mitchell. Juana Bonner is running the court pretty well. Juana Bonner is running the court very well. Um, and she's gonna be able to take the spot of what Tammy Fack Bentley was doing. I don't know, Kev. If she, I saw her over there. Was she in street clothes? I didn't. I wasn't paying attention. She have her sweats on. So I like Dantes from last year. I want to see more of her. To be honest with you. And let me be honest with you. I want Sophie Cunningham back in the game. I need to see more of Sophie. She impressed me. I see you, Kels. And one, homie. I see you, homie. Princeton High School's finest. You better recognize. Good shot. People forget, man, with all of the hype that Caitlin had last year, Caitlin Clark was not the best shooter on the team. Kelsey Mitchell was. Agent Zero. Y'all better recognize. Put some respect on her name. Put some respect on her name. She was the best shooter for Indiana last year. I agree with you. I agree with you. But you can say that about everybody. Um, I am very, I am what you call cautiously enthusiastic because I know this is preseason, so I'm not putting too much stock in this. All right, Sophie's in the game. That's what I like to see. Yo, I tell you what, one thing I noticed today. Yeah, Kelsey was ice cold yesterday, bro. Her first half was horrible yesterday, but again, it's preseason. That's why you gotta work into it. I like what she said after in the post game. She was like, "I come and work on my shots every day. The shots that I missed today was the same shots I worked on in practice yesterday. And sometimes you just got to keep shooting. So, and I understand that. I definitely feel that. So, um, it is what it is. Happens like that sometimes. It bees like that sometimes. Where's my? All right, let's go here. Going off the sense of new coach, new players, new system. Yeah, man, it definitely takes time to gel, bro. Definitely takes time to gel. Absolutely. I said this yesterday. It's like you gotta when you are a new player on the team, especially when you're talking about basketball, soccer, hockey, um, football to a degree, but football is more position based, if you ask me. But well, not that's yeah. Basically, what I'm saying is like you got to get used to, especially somebody like Caitlin Clark that's dishing passes and stuff like that. She got to get used to where everybody is, what everybody's pace is. She needs to know who's the fastest player on the team. When Sophie Cunningham cuts on the baseline, she needs to know how fast Sophie Cunningham is or how quick she is. Or when you throw a pass out to the 3 point line, how quick can somebody or a particular player get their shot off? Those are the things that you got to get comfortable with and know because they might they might change your decisions in certain situations during the game. So, yeah, so that to me, that all goes under the umbrella of gelling together. So you're 100% right. I wish I could show y'all this graphic that I'm working on for Sophie Cunningham. I can't do it because for some reason, like when I have this second screen up, like this background on my screen right now is actually my second monitor. But for some reason, when I'm working in After Effects, when I put that on my second screen, all I get is a blank screen. For some reason, it doesn't want to show everything. Looking like I don't know how to dress myself. So, but yeah, it's I don't know, weird. But I want to show you this graphic. I'm gonna get it done tonight. It's kind of dope. It's kind of dope. So stepping my game up with the graphics. Sydney Colson is in the game. Who else? Who else just came in? Sydney Colson and who else? That was it. Ain't that the yeah, that's the there's Lisa Bluter. Man, you talking about Lisa Bluter is enjoying her time off. All she got to do is travel, answer a couple questions, and she good. So, but I ain't gonna lie, I be getting tired of these questions. Uh, Philly, yeah, man. What's going on? Are we back here again? Well, you better do it. Do it for the first period's over with. I see you throw that elbow and one. Okay, okay. All right, Aaliyah. I like the way you're throwing your weight around. Use your strength. All right, Caitlin's on the bike. Well, she hit her two threes. We don't need to see her. She might be done for the day. Ain't no telling. Tell you when they're winning by 25. Yeah, can't do this. So I guess Caitlin might be done. She came in, teased him, hit a couple threes, and then she out. Sophie on that defense. Good pass. Shot clock violation. Good defense. Good defense on Indiana. Nicely done. How far am I behind? All right, let's go. Let's go. We are a 10-point lead already. 3 minutes left. 3 minutes to 32 seconds left in the first period, and double-digit lead. Like I was saying, Brazil is not very good. Sydney Colson, I got to get used to these. Yeah, Brazil is not very good. That's good hustle by number 7 from Brazil. Dang it. I'm trying to get used to who I'm looking at. Sydney Colson, number 51, always wears the white bandana, but so does Natasha Howard. So, all right, Sid. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Let's see you, Sydney. She just took it. That's what I want to see. If you get the shot, take the shot. Mm. Sophie running. Sophie running. Up. You had her. You missed her. Bad pass. Bad pass. Come on, Aaliyah. Be better than that. Got to be better than that. I'm gonna. Man, you crazy, Philly. Oh Lord, get Kelsey Mitchell out of there. She done landed on her back. Oh, I see you. I see you, Sid. With the behind the back. I see you, Sid. Yeah, get Kelsey Mitchell up out of there. Get her up out of there. She landed on her hip. She got a like a little hip pointer. Nice. Just with ease. Little Marcus Hayes, Harlem Globetrotter action. Leave see caution. Yeah, take her out, man. Take her out. Y'all saw her hit a couple threes. Y'all don't need to see nothing else. You don't need to see nothing else. You don't want no surprises. She did what? What did she just do? She had 1 3. She had 3 points. And we good. And one turnover. So Get Sophie and Lexi in there. Let them work. Yeah, Sophie on defense, man. Lexi, I never thought about Lexi Hall and Sophie Cunningham as a duo on defense. That is a dangerous proposition for other teams because both of them play hellacious defense. So I'm happy with that, man. I'm happy with that. Let me see here. And you saw all the people watching, like in line, watching, getting ready to come in the arena. There's a ton of people out there in line, wasn't it? Love seeing stuff like that. Let's see. Who knew? Come on. There we go. All right. Well, she coming back in, so she must be all right. They brought her back in the game. Yeah, I really want to see. I don't know if I'm gonna do that one because I want to see Malanga. But from my understanding, she just come on, Aaliyah. That was a good move. You pushed off with the elbow. So you're lucky they didn't call you. But if you're gonna go all the way to the rack with it, you got to finish it. Good block by Caitlin Clark. Oh, bad call. That was not a foul. That was not a foul. She tripped on her own. Good block. Good block right here. And that's a good example. 23 for Brazil. When she had the ball so low and Caitlin Clark got her hands up, you can attack the ball while it's still low, so it's easy to block or get a steal. And that's what a lot of the people in a lot of the women in the W do. They bring the ball so low. Even like that's a gripe I have with Aaliyah Boston because she's 6'5", but keeps the ball low. You know what I mean? So um, just a way for attack bigger players and good block by her. Maybe they're gonna give Caitlin a half. We'll see. But yeah, I really want to see Malonga, man. I really want to see her. I think she has and I know a lot of people don't want to look at it like this, but for me, um, if go Sophie, open shot, good one, good ball movement by Indiana. If um, if Malonga is as advertised, and I want to see her dunk one time. If she dunks in a game, the some of the seismic shift in popularity is going to go up to Seattle. Indiana's Indiana's popularity, Caitlin Clark's popularity is not going anywhere, right? But if Malonga is as advertised and she can get a dunk off in a game, everybody's going to be watching Seattle. Everybody. She ain't got to do it every game. You just got to understand that the threat is there. Kiki Iriafen is another one. If she gets a chance to dunk with the Mystics, dunk. It ain't got to be every game an opportunity, but if you get a chance to throw it down, throw it down. It'll bring the visibility of the league even higher. It'll peak a little bit higher, and the lows, the floor will be a little bit higher. So, um, and not for nothing, it's not like they need a breakaway to do it. Malanga doesn't need a breakaway to do it. I've seen her dunk on other people. I've seen Kiki Iriafen's workouts. She can dunk with ease. She can get up like that with ease in traffic. So I want to see her do that. Yeah, Timpson been looking pretty good, man. Ooh, good move, Sophie. Good pass, Caitlin. That's what we talking about, man. They get used to each other. They know what each other gonna do. It's exactly what we talking about. That was a walk off. Another three. Wide open. She hits it. 37-17. Caitlin Clark about to take a three. Step back, open shot, nails it. Gotti. Man, get her out of there. Get her out of there. End of the first. Take her out. Get her out. We don't need to see nothing else. Get her out. She hit the step back three. Great shot, all net. What else do you need to see right now? Everybody goes nuts. We done seen enough, man. We done seen enough. Yeah, Caden Clark doing Caden Clark things. That's facts. That's facts. So we'll see. We'll see. But I say get her out of there. We don't need to see nothing else from her. They done made that money back. I want to see more Sophie and Lexi. Definitely want to see more Sophie and Lexi. See something real quick. Make sure you guys hit the smash the like button. Let me go. I was in a oh, here we go. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, let's go over the box scores. We have, and I mean 37-17 into the first. I mean 37 points in the first period. That's pretty heavy. So you got Dewana Bonner's got 5 points, Natasha's got 2, Aaliyah's got 4 with 2 boards. Natasha Howard's has got 3 boards, by the way. Kelsey Mitchell's got 9 points, 2 for 3 from deep, and 3 free throws. Kaylin Clark has got 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block. So, they're getting it in there pretty well with the filling out the stats. Michaela Timpson's got 2 points and a steal. Sydney Colson's got a 3, and Sophie Cunningham's got 6 points, 2 for 3 from the floor. So they moving the ball, they getting it around. Yeah, who's not playing? Damaris is not playing. Brianna Turner, Yvonne Ejim, Lexi Hull just got in the game. Jalen Brown, Bree Hall. Yo, did y'all see Sellers got cut already? I was surprised about that. I hear you, Kev, but I do honestly, I do want to see Bree Hall and Jalen Brown. I do want to see those two, and with a mix of Timpson in there too. We'll see. We'll see, Kev. We'll see. We will see. All right, Lex is in. D him up, Lex. That is all right. That's Colson Garden right there, the top corner. Good defense, Lex. Change your shot. Who's that? Turner. All right, who's got the headband? Who's got the white bandana with the ponytail? Sydney Colson does not have a ponytail. Ooh, she got Schmidt act. That's a bad shot trying to not in the trees like that in the paint. She didn't have position. Sophie, don't wait for that. Go get the rebound. Ooh, you had Sophie on the cut. Thought they was gonna give it up right there. All right, here's something I didn't expect to see. TCU wins the beach volleyball NCAA championship. There you have it. Didn't know that was a varsity sport these days. Damn, Caitlin Clark rained another three in. Okay. All right. She warmed up. She hitting. No call. Wow. Good pass. Who's that? Lexi or Sophie that got knocked down? Caitlin running. Caitlin running. Get off me. Get off me. Good pass, Kate. Oh, go up with it. Are you kidding me? There you go, Sophie. Good hustle, Lex. Up, up. Who's that? Is that Jalen Turner or is that Timpson? Oh, I don't know these names yet. Got to get used to the profile. Timpson. That's Timpson with the white bandana and the ponytail. Caitlin trying to get physical. That's a good pass by her. But Timpson got to finish that. She got to finish that. She missed both free throws. Come on, Michaela. Bring it back down. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hold up. Don't get out of control. Good pass. Sitting there in the corner. Lex. Got it. Good pass. Good ball movement, though, by Indiana. What I like about Lexi Brown right now is I remember that game I watched last season when she had like 28 points or something like that. She was like 6 for 6 from three or however many it was. And then after that, she was shooting with confidence, but she knows she's not the main option with the ball. So when you get your opportunities to shoot, you got to make the shots. And that's what she's been doing. When she gets her opportunities, she hits the shot. And that's what you want for your role player. She knows her role is defense, but when you get that opportunity, hit the shot. Bam. 46-19, y'all. Brazil has scored 2 points in the second period. So it's two women out there with the white bandana and the ponytail, and I'm getting them mixed up. Timpson, I think, is a little bit more light skinned. I'm trying to see who the other one is. I'm mixing them up, but I'm trying to get in there. But trying to see what's I don't know. This is preseason, so I'm trying to put up a good poll question. Like I'm trying to think of something relatively good. Um, you know what? Let's do this just to screw around because it's preseason. Let's look at the box scores. All right, so we got Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark, and Sophie Cunningham. You know what? Let's do this. Let me see. All right, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do start a poll. Let me see. All right, let's do it. Sophie, Lexi. Who else? Let's get somebody else. And Sophie, Lexi. I don't think Kelsey's coming back in. Let's go. Who's gonna win the minutes? Let's see if we can get. Let's go, Sydney. There we go. And there we go. That's the poll question right now. How's that work for you? Who's going to score more points? Philly, did you bet the over this time? What's up, Josh? Appreciate you, man. Who do you think taking MVP this year? I'm not looking into that one right now. I'm not looking into that one right now. It's too soon. But I mean, I guess you can put out the favorites. Aja. I need to smack myself for that. Asia Wilson is always the favorite. Honestly, I think it'll probably be Asia, Fee, because Fee has got a chip on her shoulder. And in my opinion, Asia is the best player in the league right now, bar none. Because she can do everything. She can hit the three, she can defend, she can dribble, she can pop up and hit a mid range, she can dominate the paint, she can hit her free throws, she can pass. Asia can do everything. Fee is a half a tick below. If Asia is number one, Fee is number 1.01. Not even 1.1, 1.01. But I still think Asia is a little bit more physical, and that gives her the advantage. So I'm going Asia, Fee, and I'm trying to think who might be able to come in. Not for nothing, man. What's her name? What's her name? What's her name? What's her name? The point guard. What do they call? What's her? Chelsea Gray. Chelsea Gray is healthy, and just some of the stuff I saw her do in Unrivaled, I'm a fan. And she got one of my apology awards. Like, my apologies, I was not familiar with your game. And so yeah, I think Chelsea Gray is in there, depending on what they do. But they might cancel each other out with her and Asia. But I mean, Chelsea Gray was so good when she was healthy. I didn't see that last year because I was one of the ones asking, why was she on the Olympic team? And then when I saw her, I was like, woof. Now I get it. Now I get it. So, but it's hard to say right now. Oh, good pass, Kelsey Mitchell. I hate that. I see a good pass and they don't finish. All right, home girl. There you go, homie. See you, Kels. Yeah, everyone for Indiana is hot. Brazil can't buy a bucket right now. Ooh, you cannot go back up. What is it with? What is this phenomenon? And you guys have been on my streams before. I've said this before. Who was that? Open shot, she couldn't make it. What is the phenomenon in women's basketball where the women get so far underneath the basket and they try to jump backwards to get the rim in front of them? And they usually do that. And they got the trees down there. They got the bigs down there. I don't understand that. I see that almost every game. Almost every game in the W. They'll get the ball, they'll go on the baseline, and they'll try to jump backwards underneath the bucket. And it's like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. What's up, Brooklyn? Where Brooklyn at? In the building. Yeah, they're looking pretty good, man. They're looking pretty good. They're looking pretty good. So, but again, me, cautious enthusiasm, because this is preseason. Brazil is not that good. Let's keep it a buck. Brazil is not very good. 2 points in the second period. Come on now. Um, but like I said earlier, when well, I don't know if you was watching Brooklyn when I was started talking about Lexi Hall. Lexi Hall, she's a role player, but like just today, when she gets her opportunity to hit shots, she's making shots. She's not the scorer. She's a defensive role player. But when she's getting her opportunity to hit shots, she is draining those shots. So I agree. I think she's still come on, Aaliyah. You come on, Aaliyah. You 6'5". You cannot be missing them shots in the paint like that, man. You did that crap last year. Oh my God. Aaliyah Boston is so frustrating sometimes. She can be great, and then other times you scratching your head like, good Lord. Ooh, boy, they gonna build a gym in Brazil with all these bricks they firing up. She's scared to shoot. Lord have mercy. Yeah, Brazil is not very good at all. Not very good at all. So yeah, man. Kev, it was the same way last year. It was the same way last year. Who's on the court right now? Who's on the court right now? Who is I gotta get used to these numbers, man. Who is that's Kelsey, the Lexi. She got an and one. Who is 20? Is that 22 or 23? That's 23. That's Bree Hall. Okay. Man, I got to get used to these body profiles and ponytails, man. I'm struggling right now. Yes, I agree with you, Brooklyn. Definitely agree with you there, man. The ball movement has been phenomenal this game, for sure. For sure. And again, when they get it to the point or they get it to the spot they need to get it to, that player is hitting the shots. Go ahead, homie. Ooh, God, you had all but air. Fade away, fade away. Tosh, man. Brooklyn, I am digging Natasha Howard. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I am digging what she's putting on the floor. She is not playing like she's an 11-year vet. She got some pep in her step. And I think she is going to be the difference maker with all of these um, new additions to Indiana. Caitlin, what are you doing? If you can't dribble, get the ball up. Get the ball up. They got some pretty decent defenders. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. They are in Iowa. Good pass. Again, Lexi Hall. When she gets her opportunities, she drains the shots. That's all you asking for. That's all you asking for because you know they're gonna have these games where they keying in on Caitlin. So other people have to make the shots. That's why Iowa went so far when she was still in college. Kate Martin was dropping them shots, and when they didn't make the shots, Iowa got beat. Lexi Hall is in her bag, man. Lexi Hall, she got 9 points now. Who y'all picking in the poll? I'm gonna go with Lexi. What's up, time? If you look at all the good teams in the NBA history, and we don't have to go that far to look at the Boston Celtics and how they move the ball, has the tools to do that. Absolutely, absolutely. Every team got the skills to do it. They just don't. So, but I agree with you, man. 100%, 100%, bro. Yeah, dude. This was just like the game last year when she hit. What did she hit? Like 5, 6 in a row, something like that. It was that one game, and then after that, I believe after that, Christy Sides put her in the lineup and took out Katie Lou. So yeah, and she's been shooting with confidence ever since. And now you got an off season and all that type of stuff, man. She is going to be the role player. Is Lexi Ho going to be Indiana's Robert Ory? Philly, you a gambler, man. All you got to do is just pick one. It don't matter. Lexi Ho is a solid role player. That's crazy for the fake CC fans to turn on back. Exactly. 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 Role players need to play their role, and that's exactly what's happening. I saw the headline to this story. I don't know if anybody else saw this. I did not. I saw the headline, but I did not watch the video. And I'm curious if anybody else has saw this. Somebody put out a video, apparently, where Kelsey Mitchell was talking about Christy Sides almost made her leave Indiana. Caitlin Clark was the one that made her stay. If anybody else saw that and can expound on that, I didn't. I didn't watch the video and I didn't see that or read that story anywhere. So if anybody got any more information on that, fill me in. Definitely fill me in. Yeah, and they looking good, man. They looking good. Cautious enthusiasm. I got cautious enthusiasm. It's preseason. Cautious enthusiasm. Yo, check out this. Check out what's if you watching the broadcast, they talking about the tickets. $670. $670. Now, I had this up and I lost it. It was on ESPN. Let me see if I can find it again. F1 is going on right now. That's right. F1 is in Miami. Forgot about that. Hold on. So if you go to WNBA page and you go to the schedule, right? So look at so the ticket prices for this game, this Indiana Brazil game, was like 168 bucks or something like that. Tickets as low as like 160 something dollars, right? So just look at these tickets. Look at these ticket prices. Connecticut at Seattle, tickets as low as $2. So and let's just assume these are for the tickets in the cheap seats sitting all the way up in the rafters. But the lowest price ticket in Indiana sitting in the rafters was like 160 bucks. Now you got $10 in Chicago, $10 in Golden State, um, $8 in Las Vegas, $19 in Washington right here. Let me see. Now it pops up just a little bit, 30 bucks in New York. Now you go Indiana at Atlanta. Tickets as low as $67. So just the discrepancy in these ticket prices are funny. They gonna make their money. They gonna make their money. I should be watching F1, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I should be watching it, but I'm not. I just wanted to see. I had heard that too, but I had never heard anybody speak on it. Especially, my affinity with Kelsey Mitchell. So I definitely wanted to hear her perspective on that because I know Indiana. That's close to home. You know what I'm saying? That's hour and a half, 2 hour drive from Cincinnati. So she close to home, and then everything that happened with the family and everything. You guys know I was good friends with her father, and he passed away last year. Shout out to Big Mark Mitchell. Come on, Aaliyah, make the damn free throws, man. Make the free ones. Yeah. We see who's next. Has anybody heard anything about Malonga playing tonight? She is in town. She did. They showed the video. Ooh, good pass. Good pass, Caitlin. They showed Malonga, they showing the people from Seattle showing her the new locker room and all that stuff. So she is definitely in town. I don't know if she's gonna suit up though. So I'm curious to see if she plays tonight. Lord have mercy. She hit all air. That was a hellacious air ball. Okay, could not get the roll. All right, Timpson. I like that hustle. She tweaked her ankle. I saw that. She landed. Take the shot. Oh, okay. I see you in the weight room, Caitlin Clark. I see you in the weight room. Oh, that wasn't Timpson. That was Jalen Brown. See, I'm trying to. How was that a foul on Brown? What? I ain't gonna lie. Dewana Bonner is running the floor extremely well. Extremely well. Man, Brooklyn, it's been like the injuries across the league have been crazy, man. There you go. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch that and read that article about or the video. I'm gonna be mad if it's about some BS about Kelsey Mitchell. So, ooh, Lord have mercy. Got the foul. Good move. She shook that girl, broke her ankle on the baseline, no less. Ugh. Yeah, we had an exciting half of basketball. I will drop the link at halftime. How about that? Because there ain't really much else to see. But so I'm gonna drop the link at halftime. There you go. In the meantime, if you haven't done it yet, please hit that like. Please hit that like. I guess Damaris is not playing at all. Is she hurt or like what's wrong with her? Damn ads. Ain't that funny that if I was to live stream this and sold the channel, that YouTube would hit me with a copyright. But if I just turned the feed on when the ads was going on, YouTube wouldn't say nothing probably. 7 seconds left. Come on, Sid. Shake and bake. Pop it. Pop it. Doesn't get the bounce. Dewana. There we go. There you go. All the people waiting again. You know what? I saw people making an issue about this. They made an issue about it in the Chicago game. They made an issue about it the first game yesterday with Indiana, and they were saying how to because the arenas weren't sold out, and I was like, "Are y'all kidding me? For a preseason game, who cares if the arenas are sold out?" Like I didn't understand. Well, I take that back. I understand it, and it was basically people just trying to bitch over something. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, it's like really you mad because the preseason game ain't sold out? Like, stop playing. Then that gets into all of that clickbait shit. Like, don't nobody care about that. It wasn't, you know, everything is everything is a reveal. Everybody is crashing out. These are the buzzwords now. When I'm looking at the content being created, everybody's crashing out. Um, um, Everybody's like laying into people, and you know, it's funny. It's just sensationalizing everything, you know. And it's funny now because especially now that I create content and I know how to use AI and things of that nature, it's funny how many people use AI, and I can tell they're using it. Number one, I can tell when it's an AI voice because I do that on my regular 9 to 5 job. Some of the presentations and the tutorials that I create, I use AI voiceover, so I know what it sounds like. I know what the cadence is, um, and I know when I watch videos, you can tell if someone took the time to edit something or if they let AI edit everything because they'll it'll be an edit that makes no damn sense. Like you'll be talking about basketball, and then all of a sudden there'll be a 4 second clip of a sunny meadow, and it's like, where is that coming from? And it's the AI thinking that this is what the transcript is asking for, and it just screws it up, and it's funny. So yeah, they look super good. Although I will say this. Let me see if I can find this. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. See if I can find this. Somebody made this right here. Somebody said this was AI, and I was like, this is not AI. Caitlin Clark's been in the gym. Caitlin Clark has been in the gym. So that is not AI. All right, we got an open floor, man. I'm about to drop the link. So we can have some conversations because there ain't too much. I love Holly Rowe. I think she's awesome. But some of these interviews is getting like really, really cringy because she asking the same questions, and it's like, how many times is she gonna say the same thing and all that? I know they're trying to squeeze every last drop out of it, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna complain too much. That's a nitpick because it's like right now I can mute it. I ain't gotta listen to it. So, but yeah, man, this is not AI. This is what Caitlin Clark. Because there was another thing that came out about her being in the gym and her guns was visibly bigger. So, by the way, all my Eagles fans, I don't even drink, and I found this in the liquor store. I saw this online. Somebody else had it, and I was like, man, I hope they got this up in Jersey. And I found one. $59. $59.59 for Super Bowl 59. Kentucky whiskey with the Eagles logo and the Super Bowl world champions. I was like, you got me, dog. You got my $60. I don't even drink. It's sitting up there on my shelf. When I get my office together, it'll be a background piece. I have no plans on drinking that. None. I don't even drink. The only time I drink bourbon is when I use it to cook. If I'm cooking pulled pork or something like that, I'll put a little bourbon in it, or if I'm making a barbecue sauce. Other than that, I do not drink. The only alcohol I really drink is I'm a big fan of cider, like Angry Orchard and all of that type of stuff. But I specifically like Stella Artois and a brand from Scotland called Strongbow. Strongbow was something that I drink because I'm not a big Guinness and all of that type of stuff. I ain't in all of that. So, um, uh, bro, they already doing that, man. They already doing that. They already trying to use AI to simulate people's voice because some banks require voice activation, and some people try to use AI for that. So yeah, they already trying to do that, bro. Passwords, man. Go back to old faithful. Use your passwords. Your passwords can't be 6 characters no more. uh, don't be surprised if the Indiana Pacers beat Cleveland Cavaliers. It's not what you do, is what you do in the regular season. Hey, yeah. You're right. You're right. And I ain't afraid to tell you, man. I have not watched one game of the NBA. Not one. I haven't watched one game of the NBA. I haven't watched one game. I didn't watch one game of the men's NCAA tournament. Not one. The only reason I know about Cooper Flagg is because he went to Kentucky, and I went to school in Eastern Kentucky, 20 minutes down the road. That's it. So, uh, time when I cook brisket, I do not flavor brisket with anything. Most of the time when I cook a brisket is salt and pepper. Period. Salt and pepper. Period. Maybe a little garlic, garlic powder or garlic salt. But for the most part, in my opinion, a smoked brisket, all you need is salt and pepper. I tried a brisket one time and I bought all of these rubs and I mixed it up and ain't nothing like good old salt and pepper. You ain't got brisket is perfect as it is. When you cook it right, damn. Listen, man, don't get me going down the rabbit hole with barbecue. Don't do that. Because I won't stop. I won't come out of it. I will talk about barbecue for the next hour and a half, bro. Because I'm one of them dudes. I'm the one of them dudes that'll be up 9 hours through the night with a 20-pound brisket in the smoker. So yeah, I'm one of them dudes, bro. Uh, you're right. He did go to Duke. My bad. I got Kentucky on the brain because I was doing some stuff on Georgia or more. You're right. My bad. Still didn't watch it. Maybe if I watched it, I would have known better. uh, but yeah, man. I watched a little bit. I think I watched a little bit of the game when Luka went back to Dallas. I did watch some of that game. Um, that was it, man. That was it. Even though LeBron is an Ohio boy, it ain't even fun watching him no more. The NBA is worse than the freaking WNBA as far as fans goes, because you get all the people that hate LeBron and is he the best and Jordan and all of that type of stuff. And it's like, man, at some point you get tired of hearing that. Like, just play ball. And it's not even fun to watch anymore. Not even fun to watch anymore, man. So they need to get some good barbecue joints in Philly. Philly don't have any. That is incorrect, sir. That is incorrect. There are some good barbecue places in Philly. You just got to find them. So don't believe that. They got a place down. What's the name of it? Hold on. I'll tell you where to go because it ain't. Sweet Lucy's is good, and Mike's Barbecue down in Philly. I have not have use your words. I have not been to Sweet Lucy's, but I've heard a lot of good things about Sweet Lucy's. I have been to Mike's more than once. Mike's Barbecue is one of those places where you really got to look for it to find it because somebody made a restaurant out of a row home, and if you're looking at the wrong direction, you'll drive right past it. It's right in a residential on a residential street. It's right on the corner. It's like a house, Mike's Barbecue, and another house. So if you ain't paying attention, you will drive right past it. But let me tell you something, man. Mike's Barbecue, the ribs are on point, the brisket is on point, but they crispy pork belly. Lord have mercy. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's the one thing that I haven't learned how to do with barbecue. What's up, Brooklyn?
What's up, Brody?
What's
Yo,
good?
yo, man. If you a Indiana Fever fan, if you a Chicago Sky fan, from
Looking
what you
good.
seen, from what you've seen thus far from this preseason, you feel good. Again, like I said, because we played Brazil too, so I wasn't judging Chicago based off the opponent. I'm not judging Indiana based off the opponent. I'm judging based off what I see them do on the floor. Like playing
Agreed.
basketball wise, how they moving out there, how they sharing the ball, the type of shots they getting. I'm not seeing a lot of ISO baskets. I'm seeing a lot of ball movement, a lot of breaking down the defense, hitting the open man. I'm seeing a lot of quality shots. I'm seeing a lot of good energy out there. So, and then I'm seeing solid play on the defensive end too. So, if you you got to feel good. You got to feel good about where you at right now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Just moving the ball again. Brazil is not a very good team, so the things that they are doing, that's what we should expect.
Right.
If you're playing system areas of the poor, you should beat system areas of the poor
Right.
in a certain type of way. But to your point, man, everybody's looking good. Angel looked good with the double double, as expected. Camila Cardoso, you already know how I feel about her. I feel she's gonna put in work and be a lot better than last year if she stays healthy. Um,
Absolutely.
so yeah, man. In Indiana, I'll tell you what, man. Natasha Howard and Sophie Cunningham, man.
Yeah, they
Right
fitting
there.
in really good. They fit in. For me, I really like I said in chat, because Michaela Timpson, I knew she was good in college. I wasn't sure how well she was going to translate because of her height. She's 6'2",
Yeah,
but looking at her stand next to Leah Boston, she don't look 6'2". It's weird. She either when I saw her stand next to Aaliyah Boston, I said either she not 6'2" or Aaliyah Boston not 6'5", because they around the same height. Like they closer in height than you would think a 6'2" standing next to a 6'5" players would look. Now I know Michaela Timpson got like really good physicals, like her arms is extra long,
yeah. She
and
got that wingspan.
she's athletic. But I'm talking about just like height to height. I seen them stand next to each other, and they look kind of almost close in height. So I'm like, oh, that's if she actually taller than what they measured her at, she
Yeah,
definitely is still, because her at the 5, like again, I don't mean to disrespect Leah Boston, because Leah Boston is nice, but she fits. Michaela fits Caitlin game way better than Leah
ab-
Boston does, and
absolutely.
then her
I like the Leah Boston, man, but she frustrates me, bro.
Michaela's defensive ability, I don't think people know how good. Like, if you didn't really watch her in college, like, I don't want to judge her to the players in the league yet till I see her play, but just going off of what I think would translate and what she did in college, she's gonna be one of the best defenders in the league at
Right,
her position.
right.
So
I agree
that's
with you,
gonna be
man.
scary for the people going against the Fever, because you go against the Fever and you say, I gotta match. I either gotta slow them down or I gotta match their point.
Yeah,
They offense. But you put a player like Michaela out there. Now y'all got a player like Bree Hall on the perimeter. Like you said, you got to play like Natasha Howard. Those types of players. You got Sophie Cunningham now. You already know Lexi Hall gonna play defense. So now these extra players that you plug in on a defensive end makes the Fever that much more dangerous, because now they playing. Now you got to worry about them on both sides of the ball. You don't have to
yeah,
just come in and be like, I know they're gonna score a lot. I know they're gonna shoot a lot. Now they got shot blocking ability and they got perimeter defense.
man.
So it's
And I'll
gonna
tell
be
you what, I did not expect to be looking forward to the duo of Lexi Hall and Sophie Cunningham, how they play defense together.
oh yeah. That I could
I
already
was
knew.
like, Lexi was a hustle, but I ain't gonna lie, I did not expect that from Sophie Cunningham, and she put
Yeah.
everybody on notice. She was like, her stepping out party was legit.
Yeah,
Was legit.
Sophie always been like that. I kind of already knew. I knew it. I knew her game and Lexi game actually mirrored. Like, they different in how they play, but they games mirror each other so much. It
Yeah,
made you even think like, how they gonna play them? Are they gonna play them together? Are they gonna is one gonna start out? You kind of had to figure out how they gonna play together. Is one gonna take the other one minutes, because they play a similar play style,
right.
but they do play differently too. So it's like you said, so far in the preseason right now is interesting. All this is going to change during the regular season though, because right now in the preseason, everybody gets minutes, right? Like,
Right.
they trying to see
Exactly.
what everybody could do. But once those minutes start to shrink, everybody ain't gonna get minutes. So
Nah,
we gonna see what's gonna
nah.
happen.
But I'm listen, man. I'm liking everything, man. I think, in my opinion, Dewana Bonner is running the floor. And this is what Dewana's what 12th, 11th, 12th, 13th year or something in the league.
I think probably more than that, but I ain't gonna guess. I don't know.
Yeah. The
She
point is,
one of
like
the
her and
she one of the
Natasha
oldest
Howard,
players in the league.
both of them got double digit years in the league. Natasha's got 11, and Dewana's got more than that.
Yeah.
And both of them are moving up and down the court. They do not look like their age right now.
Put it
They
to
are
you
moving
like
up.
this. And you could do the math. I don't feel like doing the math in my head. I was just watching an interview with Angel McCarthy, and
Uh-huh.
she said the year that she won Rookie of the Year, which is 2009. She said DeWanna Bonner was winning it before because she said she came in half the year and won it. But she said the first half, but DeWanna Bonner was winning Rookie of the Year. So I guess her rookie year was 2009.
Damn, that's a minute, bro. And
Yeah.
she's still moving I was a fan of. Thank you, Kelly. 17 years. 17 years. That's a lot of clock. But she's still moving. Like I felt the same way about Tammy McBinley. And Dewana is looking. She moves pretty good for somebody her size. With that type of long gait, she can get up and down the court pretty well.
Yeah.
So
And then with a team like this that's so deep, like we just said, she don't even got to play a lot of minutes on them 17 years.
right.
She could play, they could play her, they could start her and then have Lexi or Sophie come in early, you know what I'm saying? Save her for the playoffs.
Sophie look like she's gonna be a problem, though.
Yeah, she already stepped in. She wants to be the enforcer, so she's gonna be the
Yeah.
person that's gonna be, you
She put a
know,
little spice on it.
she gonna be protecting Caitlyn. Like anybody, or Caitlyn getting physical with anybody, she gonna be the person to come over
Go
and
ahead,
protect
Kels.
Caitlyn.
Take the shot. It was too late. Bad pass.
See, games like this on the Brazilian side, I
You
don't
see your home girl?
understand. I don't understand why. I'm actually surprised they playing in the second half. I just saw that, but I don't understand why. Like the Brazil, if you feel like if you're not ready for, losing is losing. Like I said in chat, but there's another thing to lose and there's another thing to get blown out. If you're not ready for this level of competition, why play? Because I don't think this helps your players like with confidence.
Uh,
You get what I'm
I
saying?
I
Like this
agree.
supposed to help Brazil to get better, but getting beat down like this, I don't think that it helps them get better because you almost check out at some point. Like,
I think it's you got to honestly. I think this is the international payday. This is the publicity that they would never get otherwise.
I
So
get that part from the business side. I get
I
that.
think they know what the deal is. Plus, and you got who did they play? They played Chicago and they played Indiana. Both played
Yeah,
for
I don't know who they play
Brazilian.
after this, but I know it was us, them too.
Yeah. So Cardoso and then you got Demiris. Both of them played for Brazil. So you got a little commonality there. So
Okay. I didn't know y'all had a Brazilian player on y'all team.
yeah, Demiris Dantas.
Got you.
See who's hurt again. So
Oh, they
she was
got it
pretty
on the
good last
screen
year.
now. They got Camilla, Damaris, I guess Erica de Sosa, yeah, and Janet Arcane. I don't know if you're watching the feed. They got it on ESPN. They were just showing those
Yep,
four
yep.
players.
I'm a couple seconds behind you. Yep, yep. So Demiris played well last year, but for whatever reason, I know she was coming off an injury, and she looked like she was out of shape. Looked like she was like a little overweight and out of shape, but she looked exactly the same now. So maybe that's just her body type.
Thank you, baby.
Maybe that's just she looked like when they say people got like baby fat,
Yeah.
like she's not real cut or anything like that. So I was like, maybe she's coming off in, but she had some good games last year. I liked her as a player.
Well, she might not get no minutes this year. They got her on the bench.
Well, I think she must be hurt again because she ain't even dressing. Because you figure, I mean, if your hometown playing, you gonna let them play against their hometown. Don't do them like that. So I'm gonna guess that she is hurt.
And that's what I also want to shoot Brazil some bell because they don't have a lot. Like I said, I don't know if you saw when I said it in chat. Camilla Cardoso, from my knowledge anyway, I could be wrong, but I believe Camilla Cardoso is their best player. So they playing without their best player, and they playing. You just informed me they playing without Damaris from your team, and then there might even be some other players missing because the other day, after Chicago won, Camilla was saying that she was proud of the young players. She said a lot of the young players are stepping up and they playing.
Right.
So these are a lot of Brazil's young players that's like, getting the opportunity to play. So that's another reason why they're getting beat so bad. But I'm like, yo, in my opinion, again, if you're gonna lose to a team, you want to lose competitively. That helps your confidence. But if you lose to a
Exactly.
team and it's like it's
You
over by
drain, yeah.
halftime, it's how does that help your team like feel like they could get better? Right? That's like you just obliviating their confidence. Like,
Bro, they haven't scored. They haven't even scored 30 points in the game. I can't even do this on the video game, bro. I
that's what
can't
I'm
even do this.
saying. At some point, you want to restart. Do
Lord have
both.
mercy. Aaliyah Boston, just stop. Stop. You can't even make in the paint. Come on, Leah. This is see. Ugh. Big girl's disease, man. Oh my God. 77-26, man. This is this ain't it. They scored 7 points in the second period.
You can't even look at Brazil with this type of score. You can't even look at Brazil and be like, okay, that's their best player. Let me watch what she do. Like, they're gonna lose, but at least let me see what their best player. I don't know who they go-to player is right now.
They don't have one. Okay, with the little mid-range jumper.
It's a great exercise by Kelsey.
This is not good. This is not good. But like I said, this is their payday. This is FAMU going to play Alabama, bro.
Which y'all had a good little back and forth versus the Mystics. So y'all got some WNBA, and then I guess whoever y'all play next. I know Chicago. We play Minnesota next. So we're gonna have a good bar to really see where we at against Minnesota. I don't know who y'all next preseason game is. You could look that up.
What's the schedule? Minnesota. I do want to see Los Angeles and Golden State. That's
what you don't want to see Golden State. You probably want to Los Angeles. You might want to see Golden State.
Well, no, that's why I want to see him because I like the coach and I want to see what she's gonna do.
Okay.
They're probably gonna get their hair blowed off. Scrimmage Atlanta on the 10th.
You know they just cut Cheyenne Sellers.
I saw that, man. That was surprising.
And then not only did they cut Cheyenne Sellers, they first round pick, from my knowledge, ain't come. I just heard you say that which was news to me. I didn't know. I just heard you say that Dominique Malanga was over here, but I haven't heard anything, but I'm pretty sure her team, her teammate, you was in that live when I had when I did the international live, so I learned it then. Her teammate was just the first round pick of the Valkyrie, Uste. I don't think she's over here yet.
I don't know. I guess they fulfilling their contractual obligations over there.
No, right. But what I'm saying about that is that's two top picks that's not there. Like Katie Chen is still there.
Yeah.
So we was talking about whether she makes the roster or not. So I think it's kind of funny that she's still on the team, but Cheyenne got cut. I would think she would be cut before Cheyenne, but politics. But outside of that, they got a solid roster though of NBA of WNBA overseas vets. They do got a solid roster, but I don't know how competitive they're gonna be. We're gonna have to see.
I see you, Kels. All right, homegirl. Hey, you can sit her down now. We don't even see nothing else from Kelsey Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm surprised they playing right now. I would think the only people that would be playing, because you already know, you guys got a veteran team. So I would think that the only people who'd be playing right now was people fighting for minutes. That Stephanie want to evaluate. I would have thought that she would just have those players playing right now, but she got the starters in.
She said she's going to play with the lineups and stuff, but come on, Aaliyah. Lord have mercy. Boy, man, I can't keep saying it enough, man. She is frustrating to me.
And then you want to know why I think that? You want to know why I think it is, though, Coach? I think it's probably the style of play, because obviously Aaliyah Boston is talented, and I said it earlier in this broadcast. I said, "Yo, probably the better player. Michaela Timpson fit this style of play better.
Yeah.
So I think Aaliyah Boston would be much better in a traditional post offense opposed to this fast break. Like she got the skills to do it. You know, that's why
Yeah.
she could shoot. She could hit the midi. She could do certain things, but she also gonna be frustrating, I think, to watch because this is not her natural. Like she just have the skills to do this, but this is not her natural play style. Her natural play style is more bang with you, dominate. She more Tina Thompson. You get what I'm saying? Like she got more
Yeah.
of that type of
I
game.
just, I just, I'm always gonna get frustrated when somebody
Tina
misses a
Charles,
shot.
I mean, I'm sorry, Tina Charles,
Yeah.
not Tina Thompson.
I always get frustrated when somebody misses a shot in the paint, let alone a big. But my frustration with Aaliyah Boston is on the defensive side. When she pulling down rebounds, like you cannot be 6'5", and every time you pull down a rebound, you get somebody swatting away from you. Like and that's why I say she got big girls disease. She plays like she's always been the biggest person on the court. So nobody really challenged her. So like one-on-one little league basketball, when you pull down a rebound, both them elbows should be out, and you squeezing the ball so nobody can take it away from you. And
Yeah.
sometimes she looked like she about to serve a turkey. You know, it's just like I need a little bit more. I was not a big fan of Nalissa Smith, but Nalissa Smith could rebound better than Leah Boston could.
But I think to your point, sometimes that's just skill sets because like the same thing you saying about Aaliyah Boston. I said something similar about a player her same size in college, Bria Cunningham. Bria Cunningham. She just went to Texas. She played in Arizona. She just played in Arizona with another point guard. I forget her name. That she just transferred to. But anyway, Bria just transferred to Texas. And I started looking up her game because I haven't watched her rookie and sophomore season because I was watching so many other people. Arizona wasn't really doing nothing, so I
Right.
went and looked at her numbers. And same thing, she's a really good scorer in the post. She said she's 6'4". She's a really good scorer in the post, not that great rebounding. So it was like, and then you look at other people. Angel is 6'3", amazing rebound. You get what I'm saying? So I think
Right.
sometimes it's just skill set, and
Yeah.
sometimes players that you think should be able to do something is just not that great at this, but then they good at other things. Because you take a look at Aaliyah Boston for a center. Aaliyah Boston is a 3-level scorer, right? She could shoot the three, she could make a midi, and she could score at the rim. Whereas somebody like Angel is developing those skills that Aaliyah Boston already has. You get what I'm saying? But then
Yeah.
the skills that Aaliyah Boston don't have, somebody like Angel is great at that. So it's like sometimes skill, like, so what I'm saying in other words is a player like Aaliyah Boston, you might just need to put a really good rebounder next to her because that just might not be what she's great at. Like, you know what I mean? Like that'll always frustrate you because you will be like, yo, you should be able to do this. You 6'5", but that's just not her skill. Her skill is posting up, banging, being able to score, making pocket passes, being able to, you know what I mean? But rebounding might not just be it. So you might
Right.
just need to find somebody that's like a really good rebounder who can space the floor for her, but also can rebound. And maybe that solves the problem.
We gonna
Because I
find
said the
out.
same thing about Brian Cunningham in Texas. I was like, yo, I think Texas got better at the center this shit for next season,
Right.
getting Bria Cunningham, but they're gonna struggle rebounding though. They're gonna have to find a power forward who can grab boards to like just to fill out their roster because that's not Bria Cunningham's strength. Like she's a good scorer, but she just don't rebound the ball that great.
Yeah. They gonna fill out their roles, man, and it's gonna be a lot of. I love it how in the WNBA, whenever they cut somebody, they post that on social media like, "Thank you, thank you." Like, yeah, that's just like in the NFL. They say, "Coach, want to see you. Bring your playbook."
Right.
Yeah. Oh Lord, boy, they can build a gym with all these bricks they firing from Brazil, man. Good Lord.
Yeah, you can tell they gave up. They not playing with passion right now.
Nah, they trying to let the clock run out so
And
they can get out of here.
yeah, I understand it. It's like, yo, and this is where the coach got to inspire somebody. Like, yo, like they gotta come out and try different defenses. They not even like zoning or like picking up full quarter trying to trap. You know what I mean? They're not doing nothing. It's just like they just literally just head to they cones until the game is over.
Damn. Boy, yeah, they done mailed it in, bro. Why is Caitlin Clark coming back out there, man? Sit her ass on the bench. We don't
You
need
know they,
nothing else from her, man.
yeah, you know they doing it just because it's Iowa, but still, I'm with
Iowa.
you.
You're right.
So
You're
put
right.
her on the bench,
You're right. You're right.
and then also it's an ESPN game. That's probably why too.
Yo, Kev. Hold on, man. Kev, you stupid, dude. You need Tony Romo to go in the stands and ask Jalen Hurts' dad about the offense. That's funny. I love Holly Rowe, but yeah, her stuff is it's like she doing the coach speak as a commentator. Ain't really much else you can say. How many times they gonna ask Lisa Bluter the same questions? They're gonna ask her dad the same questions, and it's cringe at this point.
Exactly.
She's still over there. Boy, Holly Rowe would have fell down them steps. That wouldn't have been pretty. I know that. Oh my God. And that's what I meant to say. Your girl looked pretty good the other night too. Sonia Citron.
Oh yeah, Sonya was bowling.
Yeah, she looked pretty good. So I like to see when these young players. That's what I want to see, man. With everything that happened last year with Reese and Caitlin Clark and Rakia and Cam Brink, all of them rookies that played so much last year, I'm hoping that continues this year, and you can see a lot of these players. I don't know what I haven't heard anything else from Sanaya Rivers. I don't know if she's gonna play after her mother passed.
Nah, they said she. That's what I said. She one of the players is out. She
Yeah.
out. You know, she probably still in. I think she's from North Carolina. I don't know where she from, but she probably still, dealing with the funeral and stuff like that.
Right. Right.
So she's out. Anissa Murrow's out.
Yeah.
Marina Mabry's out.
Mabry's out now too.
Diamond DeShields is out. And there's another player that's out too. I forgot somebody I don't know, but I was like they put out a post on Instagram. Like
Yeah.
5 players is out.
Man, it's a lot. It's a lot, man. That list, that's crazy, man.
That's why I said if Cheyenne Sellers get picked up, I could see her getting picked up either to the Mystics, to the Sun, or maybe even the Mercury, because the Mercury need a better bench.
Oh, good
So
pass, Caitlin. Good finish. Good pass. I still think that Kennedy gonna have a chance to get back in the league
possibly,
because of injuries.
possibly. I mean, you seen what they just did to Shador Samuels. They basically doing the same thing to Kennedy Carter, but worse right now. They basically just trying to humble her. They trying to let her know, like, listen, we don't need you. You need us.
Yeah.
You know, because I think part
to be
of
honest with you, that when you messing with the money like that, it's a whole different ball game because this is what her third time and something done popped off with her attitude and something like that. Because then she got cut from Atlanta
really
the first time, right?
really the fourth time, because she did something in China too. We ain't even know that. So she 3 times in the WNBA, 1 time in China.
Wait a minute. You mean she did something in China after she got the award for the best?
No. This is the year before. So the award was basically thanking her for not popping off, but basically having a good year. We didn't know either, but we found out a few months ago.
It all comes out in the wash, man. It is at the end of the day, as bad as it sounds, she not good for business. Period.
I don't know if I would go that far, but I do get what you're saying. She needs to clean up her act. I wouldn't say she's not bad. The reason why I'm not gonna say that again, and I know you're gonna say is the NBA is different. I do understand that, but we've seen this from athletes time and time again. And as long as you produce on the court, if you could produce on the court, they'll overlook what you do off the court, right? And when I say overlook, I don't mean that it's okay. I mean that it's a road back to the league. So again, you look at Draymond. Draymond had to sit out after he had some incidents. He done put some people in headlocks and kick people in the nuts and all the stuff Draymond did. And then you take a look at Jimmy Butler, having issues with his teammates in the locker room, coming out publicly saying, "Oh, you're gonna choose Tobias Harris over me." You know what I
Damn.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was deep. That was a deep
but
three.
also you got to remember. You also got to remember, and this is just keeping it above. There's a ridiculous double standard too. The things that they can, because it would be totally different, and you would be 100% correct if the WNBA was even almost at the same level, even halfway at the level that the NBA and generated money like that. But they don't. They still trying to get to the point where they just got to the point where everybody's paying attention, and they ain't trying to mess that up. So
I
so when
mean,
I say so you are 100% correct. Guys been doing it for years, and they still doing it. But the double standard is the women's game. They don't get that leash. It can't be that long. And just like
my,
anything else, man, all of the stuff that we talk about, even last year when they was talking about they going after Caitlyn and this, that, and the other, and it's like they've been playing like this for years. They've been playing physical basketball for years. Nobody was just paying attention. And then why
right.
would you say that when the guys do it all the time? The majority of people are going to look at it differently because it's women, right or wrong. Well, we know it's wrong, but it ain't stopping nobody.
And I mean, I understand, and I won't disagree with nothing you saying. I would just say this for perspective. You're right about um the stuff that's happening off the court, the distractions and the stuff that's happening that could affect her bumping and Caitlin Clark and stuff like that could affect business, the bottom line. But only thing I would say to counteract that is we know that the stuff that happens on the court sells the game. So it's like even though distracting, even though the stories and the media and the stuff that's coming out is like a black eye, you feel
Yeah,
me, on the league, the stuff that happens on the court is really what people pay for, or what really people care about. So that's why I kept saying, as long as you producing. What Kennedy Carter showed last year is that people will come out and watch her. You even seen it in the games where the Sky was playing that had
mhm,
celebrities coming out. Usher came out to see Angel, but Usher
absolutely.
stopped. Usher stopped and was like, "But you get busy." You get what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
like that's the effect Kennedy has when people actually watch her play, because again, the eyes wasn't on a W until Caitlyn and Angel got there. And then once Caitlyn and Angel got there, it shed light on so many other players that people didn't even know got busy. And Kennedy is one of them. Kennedy, whether people like it or not, certain people have an attractive game, right? And that's why people love Caitlyn, right? Because regardless of Caitlyn is better than anybody or not, people love the fact that she could do a step back three. They feel like that's revolutionary. They feel like that's changing the game. They feel like they
right.
never seen that before. So they just love the play style, right? Regardless of how good she is, they love the play style. It's the same thing with Kennedy. Regardless of however, if she's your favorite, if she's not your favorite, her play style make people want to watch. The
Yeah.
crossovers, the acrobatic plays she
Oh,
make, that makes
absolutely,
people want
dude.
to watch.
She
So that's
she
what I'm saying. Somebody like her, regardless of the distractions, is good for the business of basketball.
well,
So it's like,
I hope she gets her opportunity to come back. I still think that it had more to do with what happened at the end of the year in Chicago than the BS that happened early in the year against Caitlin Clark.
right,
I think that had more to do with it because while that wasn't the best look in the world, the problem with what happened when whatever that blow up was in the locker room, now you got GMs talking.
right. Which I think
So,
is silly, because if that is the case, that should be a one team thing. Like Chicago should have an issue with that. But for every team to have an issue with happening in Chicago's locker room, to me, is the proof that she's targeted, right? Like, it's that had what happened in Chicago locker room has nothing to do with. That's almost like something happened in Chicago Bears locker room, and now all of a sudden every team in the league don't want to mess with a certain player, or something happening in a New York Knicks locker room, and now every team in the league. You get what I'm saying? Like, I could get how the Chicago Sky be off Kennedy. Like, okay,
yeah, but
listen, we're not gonna bring you back,
that
but
happens in the
every
league.
team in the league, to me,
That
that's kind of petty.
well, but again, she got the track record. So after like you said, her fourth time. Don't even count or her third. Let's say her third time, because I'm not gonna count whatever happened in China. That was in China, and nobody knew about it anyways. But when you over here, and then whatever happened in LA, whatever happened in Atlanta, and then it gets to the point, and it's like, what's going to be the catalyst now that's going to make her blow up for one reason or another? Because I still believe she should have been like sixth man of the year, or whatever they call it.
Man, she should have been at the All-Star game and so many things that she should have
Absolutely,
been and shit.
absolutely. But I mean, and that's what I mean. People look at her like is like she bad for business, because I look at it from this standpoint. You can't talk about Kennedy Carter or anybody else for that matter. Don't look at it from the standpoint of what her fans would think, because her fans are always going to show up for her. It's everybody else, because everybody else is what makes up the difference. Everybody else is what takes it to the next level or drops it in the basement.
Right.
Because how many people love Angel Reese or hate Angel Reese? The people that ride or die with Angel Reese are going to ride or die with Angel Reese. The people that hate her are going to hate her. Same thing with Caitlin Clark and everybody else. It's the everybody else, though, that makes the difference. Your ride or dies are just that. So it's you got that. There've been plenty of what's the guy's name? What's the guy's? He was a cornerback. Believe it was for Tennessee. It was Aqib Talib. Aqib Talib. You remember him?
Nah, I'm not that well versed in football like I am with
You may have saw
basketball.
this. He was the guy, the cornerback that went up to the wide receiver and snatched his chain off in the middle of the game. I don't know if you ever saw that, but one of the receivers was wearing a gold chain with a cross on it, and he went up there, snatched the chain off his neck, and slammed it on the ground and walked off. And then them two ended up fighting in the game and got it. I believe either one of them or both of them got ejected. And then there was another one. I forget what his name was. His last name was Finnegan, but he used to always get into it with one of the receivers. And they used to fist fight, and there was always problems. And it was like eventually they wasn't in the league no more. And you put that under the umbrella of the WNBA is finally in a situation where it's trending upwards, and they got a real opportunity to break even or go into the black, if not this year, sometime maybe in the next 2 years, when that didn't happen in the past 30.
But Coach, I got two questions then, right?
Sure.
One, in one league, in all them leagues, right? Football, basketball, whatever. When did fighting ever? And I'm not saying that fighting is a good thing. They need they need to put fines and all that stuff. But when did fighting ever make people want to tune in less to a league?
See, football is different, because
I'm saying even basketball. If you know basketball, it's been plenty of fights in the 80s and 90s.
Absolutely,
it's kind of toned down now. They trying to tone it down now. But I'm saying fights didn't never make the game. The stuff that put a black eye on the game was drugs. Right.
Well,
I can't speak for football because I don't know what the history is there. But I know in basketball it was a drug issue in the 80s. Right.
Yeah,
and the thing that put a black eye, hold on, let me land my plane. The thing that put a black eye on basketball was drugs, but fighting been in the game since forever, and that never ruined ratings or made people. In fact, if you want to kind of put some type of comparison to, like, let's use Caitlin Clark, because she's bringing in the money for the W. The cash cow for the NBA was Jordan, and Jordan used to get beat the fuck up. You get what I'm saying? In the 80s and 90s, if you know about basketball and the way the play style was back then, he was get clothesline, thrown to the ground. He would just pop back up and keep moving, and none of that affected the ratings of the game. In fact, they might have even went up more because people, wanted to see how he would bounce back. You get what I'm saying? And then hold on. The second thing I want to ask is this. That was one. I wanted to know when did fighting ever ruin the viewership of the game? The second thing I want to say is this: we got to be careful. You know what I mean? And it might be some real substantial stuff there, but we don't know until we do research. We just going off of what we hear. And what we hear is Kennedy has been a problem in the locker room. But I'm sure and I'm not gonna pose this question to you, right? But I'm sure if I asked you or anybody else casually that's been watching this game, well, what did Kennedy actually do in the locker room? Because I don't even know. I guarantee you most of us is going to be like, well, we don't know. And I'm not talking about just this year with Chicago. I'm talking about if you go back to Atlanta when it
Yeah.
first started, and then you go back to LA, we don't even know the incidents. All we know is we heard, quote unquote, she's been a problem, but we might find out what the incidents is and be like, that's what we talking about? Like, you know what I mean? We don't even know what the
No,
incident is.
I agree
My point is,
100%.
and I'm landing my plane with this, my point is we going off of rumors. So we got to be careful going off of what somebody say, because people lie all the time to
Absolutely.
make a point. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But to me, it all comes down to this. And we both agree Kennedy Carter is that good. Period.
Facts.
She is that good, period. And the one rule in professional sports is talent over everything, which kind of lends to your point about Draymond and Jimmy Butler and some of the others. They talent eclipses everything because you can deal with the bullshit because you know it's going to pay dividends in the end.
Right. If you producing, you can't be a
Correct.
problem and not be producing. You got to be
Correct.
producers.
So, having said that, I'm going to assume that the coaches and everybody that was in place in those particular situations where Kennedy was involved, they knew what kind of player she was. But the risk, for whatever reason, and whatever happened, you are 100% correct. We do not know what exactly happened. But what I do know is even as talented as she is, those organizations did not want to deal with the risk. So they let her go.
But then that brings me
She was
back.
balling. She was
But
balling, and we talked about this before. Kennedy takes Chicago to the playoffs if she plays the last few games. So to me, at the end of the day, nobody wants to lose. Nobody. If you make it to the playoffs or you win a certain game, you might save your job and get yourself a bonus. So nobody wants to lose because the end result is you're trying to play for the next day.
right.
And if one of your unquestionably best players is available and you don't take advantage of that, to me, that's saying something. It's happened.
Nah, that's a fact.
It's happened in the past. It doesn't happen often, but it happens in the past.
No, but look, and I'm gonna land my plane with this. I'm actually because I'm actually with my girl now. We about to watch a show. So
And
I'm actually
don't having me get you in trouble, bro.
so I'm actually laying my plane with this, but and this conversation went full circle, so it's a perfect place to end. It brings me back to what I said about the Shador Sanders situation, where okay, it's one thing. Listen, and I'm not saying no blame, right, should be
Yeah.
placed on Shador Sanders and his father, and maybe certain things they did, or certain things they said, certain being arrogant, throwing interviews, whatever it is. Again, I don't know. I'm just going off of the reports that came out, what I heard. So I'm not saying that no blame is placed to be placed on Shador, but we all know, we all have common sense, and you could tell what level of punishment is adequate and what level of punishment is okay. They dragging it now. Then now they trying to make a point. Now they, you know what I mean? You could tell when a bunch of people got together and said nobody draft them in these. You get what I was? Because it just don't make sense, especially when you hear like certain things that's contradictory. You hear on one hand he's either the second or third best quarterback in this draft, wherever you want to put him. Some people said they had him at just 2 weeks before the draft, and he dropped down to number 2, whatever, and then he's the 5th quarterback drafted. Like certain things just don't make sense. It's like, what are you really? Okay, they trying to prove a point. That's the only thing that makes sense. Is they trying to they is a target on his back, and they trying to make a point. They trying to make an example. They trying to teach him a lesson. That's the only thing that makes sense. So again, and to me, what that screams is petty. That screams petty owners or petty. Hold on. That screams petty owners and petty GMs. And when I look at Kennedy Carter, her situation, we could talk about the fights. We could talk about the locker room
Yep.
distractions. We could talk about her needing to be more mature or whatever it is. At the end of the day, it only sound like a bunch of petty grown ass men that's trying to prove a point to this girl who's super talented, uber talented, but they wanna make a point to you that, oh, we don't care about your talent because you got an attitude problem. So now we all gonna be petty and try to prove a point to you. Because one thing I learned in this world is, as human beings, sometimes we gotta admit when we're wrong, right?
Yeah.
And we can certain people is okay when it's certain people, but other people, when it's time for them now to admit when they wrong, they can't do it. Now they can't sit back and say I'm wrong because they feel like they got too much pride or they too powerful to do that. So now what they gonna do is try to make an example out of you. So like we could sit back and say we could look at from the lens of Kennedy point of view and say, yeah, she needs and I've said it before. She needs to mature. Some of the responsibility is on her, all of the things. But at the same time, some of these grown ass men need to look in the mirror and say, I'm being petty.
No,
And
no.
they won't do it. You know what I'm
Brooklyn,
saying?
everything you just said is 100%, and that's to the point. You're talking about owners with FU money. You're talking about a couple $100 million in the bank, and petty. You are absolutely correct. Everything you said is true, and those are the guys that are making decisions. So yes, and in Kennedy's situation, when you're looking at Jeff P, he's the one making the decisions, and his boss is the one with the long money. So you are 100% correct. You got a bunch of rich folks that are very petty if I don't get it my way. Because what usually comes with rich folks, they rich and spoiled and entitled and everything that comes with that. That's why they didn't like Shador. Opposites attract, likes repel. So now you got a rich, entitled owner, and you got a rich, entitled player. Those personalities gonna bump heads.
Facts.
Even
And
though
then
even though they will say, well, we want our quarterback to be uh, a little bit, cocky and stuff like that. And somebody brought it up in the chat, said, what about Eli Manning and the Manning family? Do we really even need to go down that
they
conversation?
got the complexion for protection. I mean, we
Correct.
already know that.
We need to talk about the
they
isms and the
they
ifs.
don't punish white people the same way they punish black people. We
Manning
already know
family
that.
is NFL royalty. Let's just say it like that. Because let me be honest with you, that's one of the reasons why I was never a fan of Eli Manning, because that was the first time that I had seen somebody had been in the league, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't know we could call our shots, regardless of how good you were.
But look, you
I
can't
didn't
even
know we
say
could call
that
our
though,
shots back
because
then.
a coach, I think it goes back to the complexion for protection. Because if you can say the same thing about the Sanders family, right? Dion made his family royalty too, but they didn't give a fuck about that royalty when it came to Shador, right?
Correct.
So it's like
But
it's the
again, we
thing that
know
separates Shador and Eli's what?
that can only go so far. All right. Yep, you're 100% right.
But I also want to say that because this just popped in my mind too when you was talking. Another thing we don't know is, so we take a look. I'm an NBA guy, and I'm not trying to say all the owners in the NBA are forward thinking and progressive and good people, but
They're not.
from what I've seen, and I got to go for what I've seen. It ain't that many Donald Sterlings left in the NBA. It might be some left, but it ain't that many left.
No.
But that we was able to get a Donald Sterling out the NBA once he showed who he was. That's just one league. We don't know how many Donald Sterlings is in the WNBA. We don't know how many Donald Sterlings is in the NFL or in the MLB or these other leagues who we just ain't know. They didn't get caught on camera, so we don't know that they there.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like you don't have the same protection now, because let's just say in the WNBA it's 13 teams, or let's just say 10 of them is Donald Sterling's. Well, you fucked. You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And don't forget who's the current commissioner of the NBA?
Adam Silver,
Who are his bosses?
the owners.
Exactly. And people forget that the commissioner works for the owners.
Right.
And as far as Shador, and I would think this probably happened somewhat to Kennedy. When the word got out that Shador didn't have great interviews, What do you think they did? I was trying to tell Key this, and Key a lot of time gets caught up in the what somebody should or shouldn't do. What somebody should or shouldn't do is irrelevant if it gets done. Because if
Right.
it gets done, it's like, now what? Yeah, it shouldn't have happened, but it did. So now what? But Shador, when the word came out and Brian Daboll dropped his opinion about the interview that he had with him, what do you think the GMs and the ownerships do? They talk to the other owners. It's a
Right.
small circle. It's that's the good old boys network.
And
You
then
don't, you don't think they talk to each other?
to your point though, they already feel some type of way about the NIL and these players getting money and being entitled, you know what I mean, before they come to the NFL. Now they already got their own money, so now they feel like they gotta humble these kids before they come to the NFL, because these ain't the same, you know, kids coming to the NFL than they was in your day, where it's just like, yo, I'm just happy to have a job. Nah, these kids is like, I
I
got
don't buy
millions
that.
already.
I don't buy that though, because I think this was a there will be more like that, but Shador's situation was a unicorn. Ain't nobody
No,
else.
absolutely. But I
Yeah, ain't
think it
nobody
was a
else
I,
come with
I
this type
agree
of
with you that
background.
I agree with you that it was a unicorn, but I do think a message was being sent to kid, like it's like to future people that's trying to come in and think that they don't need the NFL. You know what I mean? I'm just talking
Yeah,
about that
I see what you're
attitude.
saying.
I
I
think they
see what
trying
you're
to
saying.
send a message to anybody that's gonna come in with that attitude, like this might have you might not, we might not, like Shador went to 5, we might not draft you. You
Right,
get what I'm saying?
right. But that, I guess I look at it from the standpoint of knowing what that process is. I don't, and people saying his dad got in the way, and I push back on that. I was like, you think that Primetime didn't tell him what to expect? He done told him everything else and was relatively correct in it.
Right.
And for the people talking about, teams are worried about that his dad is going to try to take somebody's position. Once again, the GM doesn't make them decisions. The owner makes them decisions. So if the owner don't want Dion, or if the owner don't want Shador, the owner ain't gonna get Shador. And I believe
Facts.
the reason why the Browns took him, because that was a owner decision. Because you can tell by the look on Stefanski's face, he didn't want him, or the GM. They had already drafted their quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, who was the Big Ten Player of the Year. They was good with that. So I could be wrong, but they said, the looks on their faces said enough.
Right.
That's
Hey,
an
coach.
ownership decision. Go ahead and be
Hey,
with your girl, man. I ain't trying to get
yeah.
you.
No, no, you good. I was about to tell you, good talk though. Good talk, good
Sure,
broadcast.
man.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I appreciate you going live. You already know I had to come show you some support, and
Appreciate
you
you,
already
bro.
know we always have good conversations. You know what I
Yes.
mean, about basketball. And I love your perspective because I like somebody to bounce stuff off of. Like me, one thing about you, and this is in case the chat haven't, they don't know our relationship. One thing about you is me and you agree on most things.
Yeah.
But it's certain things where we're gonna see it differently, and I appreciate a different perspective, right? I
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
a perspective that gets me to look at some things differently, and I appreciate being able to provide a different perspective to you as well. So, hey, I appreciate you, man. Good talk. And this has been unfortunately it's a blowout, so the game is not that entertaining. But
Exactly.
the
Hopefully
good
the
thing,
conversation was.
right. But the good thing is the fever look good though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
it did.
coming from a Chicago Sky fan. I'm an Angel Reese Chicago Sky guy, but I'm not afraid to give the fever kudos when it's deserved, and it's definitely deserved. Stephanie White got the team looking good.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a fact. All right, coach, I'm gonna holler at you.
You got it, bro. Take care. All right. I'm really paying attention to the chat. Yeah, pulling up from the south side of Chicago. Yeah, I saw that. Time. Johnny Manziel and Baker Mayfield. What's the most prolific draft picks coming out of college? They were arrogant, braggadocious, and they got picked in the first round. It was personal against Shador. Listen, I'm not. Your opinion is your opinion. I agree. You got two things when it comes to Shador. Number one, you got to look at the macro, and you got to look at how many teams actually needed quarterbacks. Wasn't a lot. So you had four teams. You had the Browns, you had Pittsburgh, you had Las Vegas, and and New York. So those were the only 4 teams that really needed a quarterback. So you got 4 out of 32 teams. So it was slim pickings, first of all. Second of all, you 100% right. Johnny Manziel and Baker Mayfield, yes, they were arrogant. However, here's the issue. We're talking about what happened in the interview process. I'll challenge anybody. Go back and see what happened in the combine and the interview process. To me, in my opinion, Shador should have been at least the third quarterback pick. At least. Some people had Shador as number 1. And there's other people that had Shador sliding to the 3rd or 4th round. But ain't no way that he should have been in a 5th round pickup. Ain't no way. But the problem, in my opinion, with Shador was he rubbed some people the wrong way in the interview process. I don't know what happened with Johnny Manziel in the interview process. I don't know what happened to Baker Mayfield. I never heard about them taking interviews. Never heard about that. I'm not saying they didn't, but I know when you go into that situation, back to what Brooklyn was saying, you got a lot of petty owners who want things their way because they are a bunch of rich, stuck up, entitled people. Most of them, not all of them. Definitely not all of them. But when you're talking about somebody that got FU money like that and 3 and 4 and 500 and sometimes with the B word, billions in the bank, you usually get what you want. So I don't care how good you are on the field, that interview process has to be right. Now, is there people in the past who have tanked interviews? Absolutely. Absolutely. But again, when only 4 teams really need a quarterback. So whatever whatever you think, it's not for me to try to convince you otherwise. That's your opinion. Y'all know my famous saying, opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. So I'm not here to dissuade you or try to change your opinion. The only thing I can say is based on my experience and the people that I know, I went through the process when I had to go to the combine and all of that type of stuff. Now, granted, it was a lot different when I did it in 93 as it is now with social media and stuff like that. But you understand. You understand that regardless of how good you are putting on, even if you fake it till you make it. You put on a good front like you got everything together. You still trying to put your best foot forward. And in my opinion, I don't think he necessarily did that. And it cost him. So and again, if you want to get into the isms and the ists of it, we can do that too. Because that is a real thing, especially when you talk about black players and stuff like that. The history of the Giants, never drafting a black quarterback and stuff like that. So that those are real facts. And I can tell you firsthand, there are plenty of people in the NFL that shouldn't be. There are plenty of people that should who aren't. I've said that many times before, and ain't nothing changing. So it's all good. Duncan, Idaho Redux. Goodbye. If you think I'm lying, we all got opinions. Peace out then, bro. Jerry Jones, when he was yeah, I've seen that picture. I've seen that picture. Everybody saw that picture. When the kids was coming to school and he was out there yelling and screaming. It wasn't the Klan. It was school integration back in the day. And he was one of the people yelling and with, I don't know if they was throwing rocks or whatever it was, but he was in the crowd opposed to it. When in Rome, that's what he was doing. I think he addressed that kind of weakly. But what is he going to say? That happened umpteen years ago, and now the people are making him money. So even his aspect and the way he looks at it, ain't nobody gonna agree with it. And there's nothing that we can say in one conversation that'll convince people otherwise. Period. The people that believe one way are gonna stay one way, unless it happens to them. That's the only way you get out of thinking a certain way, unless you find yourself in a situation where it happens to you and it changes your thought. Most people, that's not gonna happen. Most people, that's not gonna happen for, and that's the real of it. So, but it's all good. It's all for healthy conversation. Duncan, Idaho, you ain't gotta. I wasn't trying to earn your respect, bro. You ain't gotta agree with what I'm saying, but we can have a conversation. So, tell you what, cool. See you next time, then, bro. But the game is over, man. This was, yeah. Like I can't even score this much points on 2K, bro. 108 to 44. They more than doubled up on them. Good lord. So, so Caitlin Clark looks pretty good. Sophie Cunningham looked pretty good. Let's go back and go through the box scores. The box. Where's my box scores? What time? I know but that game started already? What channel is this on? The Seattle game is I had already started? Hold on for a second. Let me find okay, let me get to that game cast. I don't what channel is this on? Oh wow. Holly Rose got another interview with Caitlin Clark. 24. Do I want to stream this second game? Let me see. Seattle Storm. I don't know what channel this is on. Is this on another? Comes on at 6, so that started. But what channel is it on? I don't know. Huh. All right. I don't know. I don't know what channel they are on. How do I watch this game? Anybody in the chats, if you know what channel the Seattle Connecticut game is on, let me know. I cannot find it. I wanted to watch a little bit to see if Malonga was going to play, but doesn't look like she will. WNBA basketball, Seattle Storm. Nah. I don't know what's going on. All right, we'll be out. I'll talk about it later tonight. But yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna take a break. Wake my wife up. So yeah, I don't see it on Comcast either, man. So tell you what, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. We had a good chat, man. Good conversation, man. My guy Brooklyn. Check out his channel, The Perspective with 80s Brooklyn. He talks all women's basketball all the time. I dabble in obviously I'm an NFL player, but I do NCAA women's and the WNBA. So I'm dabbling in a couple different fields, and also I'm trying to trending sports. But Brooklyn is all basketball all the time. So I appreciate everybody in the chat. We had a good conversation, man. Y'all were on fire. I appreciate you. Um, and don't forget to subscribe. Next time, do me a favor, bring your friend. Bring your friends so we can talk ball. My perspective is always different because of my experience playing at the NFL level and all of that type of stuff. So I look at things a little bit differently. Yes, I'm still a fan, but my perspective just a little bit different. But it is what it is, man. We can always talk about it. We ain't got to agree, but we can be respectful and we can still kick it. All right, I'm going to be up out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Have a good week at work, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.